And in upstate New York, he murdered a bunch of people. And R-word a bunch.
You guys say unalive.
Oh, you're right.
He unalived a
Yeah,
bunch
so
of
he
people.
unalived a bunch of people.
That'd be more with the times. This person's hemming and hawing.
Hee-haw.
What do you think that means?
Wild.
Good guess. Wrong. Not understanding what a hypothetical situation is.
Hypotheticals should be realistic.
No.
Yes.
No. Hypothetical doesn't mean realistic.
No, it doesn't mean real. They should be realistic.
No.
If you're gonna offer me Pokemon Red,
Okay.
my life is over. Like, I'm done. I'm checking out of, like, I don't need Valorant. I don't need video games. I'm gonna be on my phone more than I already am.
Yeah, that's impossible. You already spent 8-9 hours on your phone anyway.
What's 18? You know what I'm saying?
What sleep is what he said.
Who needs
What
to sleep? It's weak. It's if you're weak. I'm trying to catch them all.
You're really gonna play all the Pokemon
Dude.
games?
I miss those games. I downloaded it this morning and I already spent like an hour playing it.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
You're a child.
I hope everyone downloads it.
You're a child.
I can give you, if you need a tutorial on how to start playing Pokemon Red or any Game Boy game on your phone.
I bet you there's like a what's your level? Are you smarter than like a third grader Nintendo game? I bet you there's like a Peppa Pig game you could download on the emulator.
Honestly, I was having a rough day. You're a text. I just want you to know I'm extra sensitive today.
I'm just
Peppa Pig, dog?
yeah, man.
I don't even know what that is. I know it's a kid's show. I've passed my time.
Your level of
It's past my
education,
time.
it's gonna help you. It teaches you like alphabet
Send me Bluey.
and.
Send me Bluey, dude.
Well, that was fun. Let's count it down.
Let's count it down.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Learn things that you want to learn.
I got a fun fact for you.
Hope you learned something with that. I hope you learned. So,
I'm an idiot. If you have any questions, don't ask us.
welcome to the Idiots to Experts podcast. I'm your co-host Justin.
And I'm your co-host, George.
And every week we try to cure our ignorance, trying to learn something and sharing it with you guys.
All while breaking each other down.
That's the best part.
You know what I realized about the podcast, and we can skip this part if you don't want to.
Okay.
But I realized that we're actually getting some people who don't know us who are following the podcast for some reason.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Literally.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
I don't know where you're from, but thank you.
Thank you for the engagement.
This is just fun.
Even the hateful comments, I'll take them. I'll take 4 Eyes is at home right now.
Yeah, dude. Okay, Four Eyes, what are you going to talk about this week?
This week I'm gonna talk about a very ethical problem with lawyers, or an ethical situation that happened with lawyers that has just changed the legal profession. And I was gonna talk to you about it because I want to pick your brain about it. It's a very interesting situation.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
I know a lot about law, so thank you for asking me.
This is more ethics than it is
It's
law.
going to be great.
More ethics than it is law. But
I picked up a new self-help book, and I want to share it with you guys.
Oh,
and I think it's going to be a very important one.
when are you gonna get the message, bro?
What do you mean?
There's not enough self-help books to help you.
No, help you. No, I think I loved the story that I read. Very short book. And you don't need to read the book because I'm going to tell you what happened in the book.
Beautiful. Because
And,
you know I don't read.
And yeah, I'm going to tell you the title in my segment because I want to know what you think the book is about.
All right, let's get into it.
All right.
We're gonna get into the law.
Yeah.
I have a law degree.
Okay.
It doesn't mean I'm a good lawyer. That doesn't mean I'm giving you legal advice.
Yeah,
That
fair.
doesn't mean any of that.
Okay.
I just have a background in law.
Yeah.
And my topic involves law today.
Okay.
Do you believe that if you go to a lawyer...
And miracles.
That was so bad. That was so bad.
The second time I
You
did that.
can't... Like,
That's the second time I did that, by the way.
how do you roast me for bad jokes?
That's a callback. It's a callback. Go ahead. Sorry. Do I believe in what?
I just imagine like a cut, like
Do I believe?
a black and
Oh,
white...
be careful.
Can't even say that word anymore.
Black and
Of
white.
the
What?
previous podcast of when you made the same joke.
Yeah.
Back on topic.
Hmm.
Do you believe that
And love
Anything that-
after love. Or is it life after love? Sorry. Go ahead. I messed that one up. It's fine.
honestly, thank God he's
Do I
prolonging this
believe-
segment because let me tell you, it ain't gonna take very long.
Do I believe in what?
that if you go to your lawyer for something, that he has a obligation to keep everything that you tell him confidential.
Yeah, 100%.
I agree.
Yeah.
Especially with, given our profession,
Yeah.
people like confide in you in some very,
Isn't it legally though?
legally we can't tell
Yeah.
people anything that they tell us.
Okay.
There's a really famous case that was in the 70s.
Hmm.
And in the 70s, there was this really messed up dude in upstate New York.
Okay.
And in upstate New York, he murdered a bunch of people. And R-word a bunch
You
of
guys say unalive.
people. Oh, you're right.
He unalived a
Yeah,
bunch of
so he
people.
unalived a bunch of people.
That'd be more with the times.
You know, I think I watched enough TikTok that I should know this. But because he unalived a bunch of people, he was inevitably put in front of court. He was in a hearing and he was sentenced to jail.
Okay.
And while he was speaking to his attorneys, he confessed to some other murders that he did that the police don't know about.
Yeah.
Did those lawyers, the question is, did those lawyers have a ethical obligation to tell where these bodies were?
What is the repercussions of you breaking that confidentiality? You know, the jail time for lawyers?
For lawyers,
Yeah. Or do they get disbarred?
they could get it disbarred. Technically, you broke confidentiality, which
Yeah.
is like the biggest thing that we.
Unfortunately, I would have to say, I would lean towards not saying. You're talking about your own life, which sucks. Yes, morally is the right thing just to tell, but then in turn, you are risking your job and your life and the way you survive.
Okay. Let's switch it up a little.
Okay.
We're going to make it a hypothetical.
Mm.
What if he put these people that he murdered or that was about to murder
Unalived.
unalived? What if these people that got unalived
Yes.
were put somewhere and they're about to get unalived from like starvation or something,
Okay.
but there's a potential for them to be saved?
It's up to you. I think that's very personal.
Wow.
I think that's up to you.
That's crazy.
I think if you're willing to take that risk, I don't think you're obligated and forced to. I think it's understandable to take both situations or both choices. It's understandable that you don't want to sacrifice the way you make a living in your life. You get disbarred, it can potentially ruin your life. But then it's understandable if you think it's your moral justice to tell them so they can save the people.
Okay. So I'll tell you the outcome.
Okay.
Because here's how I see it.
Is that bad?
Yeah, I think you're a terrible person basically at this point.
I think you're put in a tough situation.
I will choose another person's life over my career or job, personally. Not all lawyers, let me tell you, definitely not all lawyers would.
Yeah, I think it's a tough situation.
Tough
That's
call.
all I'm
Tough
saying.
ethical situation,
Yeah.
period. So I'll say this, and this is one of the things that we learn in law school, is as much as we have clients, as much as we have people who are hiring us, first and foremost, we are officers of the court,
Yeah.
meaning that we have a duty to the court to...
Responsibility.
Yep. Now, here's the crazy thing that when I learned in law school, I was like, that seems weird.
Oh.
Because the lawyer now has to carry a burden that wouldn't otherwise exist if he didn't know.
Right.
If a person...
Why are you laughing?
I don't know, I feel like
Nervous laughing?
you're just like going, yeah, okay, mm-hmm. Like,
No, I think I agree with you.
Okay.
It's
All right.
tough.
Yeah. When a person's on the stand and is about to make a statement,
Huh.
if the lawyer knows the truth, he can't compel or he can't allow his client to lie to the court.
When you say you can't allow it, if the person's on the stands, he can't tell me, hey, you'll be quiet. You can't do that.
There's like code language and it's talked about privately, like in the
when they
judges'
prepare
quarters
him?
and stuff like that.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, the lawyer has an obligation to not allow his client to lie. Now, if he puts him on the stand and he starts saying some stuff,
Yeah.
you still kind of just gotta be like, and there's like some code language that
There's code language that tells the judge or who understands his code language. Other lawyers.
other lawyers or anyone in the legal profession where the lawyer all of a sudden just is like,
Tense. So I know that you killed someone. Oh, sorry. you unalived someone,
Mhm.
right? You're on the stand and you're saying, man, I don't know anything.
Yeah.
If I tense up as a lawyer in my seat, the other lawyers are like, okay, we know he's lying.
What will end up happening, and there's no one way to handle the situation.
Okay.
But essentially, what will happen if I know that you're about to lie on the stand,
Mm.
instead of asking you questions and being part of your lie, tell me your narrative of what happened.
Yeah. Okay.
You'll go on your long story
Yeah.
saying what happened, and I'll be like, that's it. Other attorney knows you lied. I'm
So
not
you're
condoning.
okay. You're essentially are breaking that confidentiality without directly
breaking
okay. All right. I like that.
As lawyers, we found a way to snake our way
Yeah,
out of it.
I'm fine with that. You guys are all snaky.
It's true.
Yeah.
So these two lawyers now have the information that two people are unalived,
Hmm?
and they know exactly where their bodies are.
Mm-hmm.
They made him sign saying that they can release the information to the public after he dies.
Oof.
25 years later,
Oof. That's tough.
he dies while trying to escape jail.
Okay.
Like people shot him because he was escaping jail. And they finally come out with the information. The timing of it is. Turns out, like police were still looking for these two people when they had already known that they were unalived.
The police knew? Oh, no.
They didn't know.
The police have been searching, but these two lawyers knew that they.
They were,
Yeah.
but it actually changed how ethics or legal theory applies to so many different things.
So something changed
Something
in
changed.
law where lawyers can say something?
Yes. And if the person is already dead, or sorry, unalived.
Oh, my God. We're
Hey,
getting
you already made the
canceled.
mistake once. All right,
We're
calm
getting
down.
canceled.
Calm down. If the person is unalived,
Yeah.
it's like you have an obligation. That person can face criminal charges if that information comes out.
Mm.
Your mouth shut.
Okay.
If you can save a person from imminent harm or physical harm or unaliveness, then the lawyer has the ability to go and inform law enforcement of what's going on so that way that person can.
Okay,
And actually,
perfect.
I realized that this is consistent with most professions. So like in therapy, have confidentiality.
Yeah.
Therapists cannot,
Unless they're, yes, like
Unless-
self-harm or
unless it's
something
self-harm
serious.
or unless they know that someone else, they're about to harm someone else or there's an imminent harm to somebody else.
Yeah, that's
And
fair.
I'm like, I like this.
That's been in
consistency.
practice for a while, but I guess when it comes to murder, unalivers.
Oh, how dare you make the mistake, Justin? We can't make it. We're
I didn't
getting
finish the
canceled.
word. I didn't finish the word. The
Murmurs.
yeah.
Oh, you had a heart murmur.
Yes, they
Got it,
murmured
got it.
about the unalive.
Yeah.
So I think it's crazy that, you know, therapy and all that stuff has had that rule, but in terms of more serious things, that wasn't applied.
I wanted to take it a step further. So here's the hypothetical. Dude has cancer and
Okay.
he's going to die.
All right.
There's a surgery to potentially remove this cancer,
Yeah.
but he has like a 1% chance to live.
Yeah.
And otherwise, he can seek treatment and get like 8-9 months of
Living.
life.
Okay.
He wants the surgery, even though it's just a 1% chance of living.
Okay. The
All
doctors are
his,
saying.
all his family wants him to just, nah, dude, you're going to die.
Yeah.
As a medical professional, you know that there's no chance this man comes out of this
Okay.
surgery. As a doctor,
Yeah. You're saying no, don't do it.
I'm saying, does the doctor have the right to make the decision on his behalf and say, no, you're not
No.
getting this? No.
No.
I agree with you 100%. Actually.
Yes. Talk about that. Like, at the end of the day, it's your life, and unfortunately, I think I'm living in America. I don't know. We are definitely fed to believe that we have that freedom. So I guess that's where my morals come from. Like, it's my choice, and if I decide I want to get the surgery, even though there's 1% chance, my choice.
Here's the thing. I've seen so many people make so many terrible decisions that they regret later in life.
Yeah.
And some places, and sometimes in medical situation, they don't get to undo the decision.
Yeah.
In the legal profession, I see people who I've advised don't do this. Now, as a professional, whatever it is, therapy, law, whatever, do you think you have an obligation to do what the person wants, even though you completely disagree?
No, I hold on to the same. It's the same situation.
It's not the same situation. In this situation, let's say the doctor goes, I'm not doing the surgery. I think it's completely wrong. Find another doctor to do it.
But the patient is saying,
Do it.
I want to do it.
Yeah.
And the reasons why I don't want to do it is because there's a low chance.
Yeah, as a doctor, I'm like, this is like murder. I know that you have
Unalive.
unaliving. You made the mistake. You'll make the mistake again. Don't worry. This is basically unaliving someone. I'm not going to be participating.
I think, okay. I think for both parties, you have the freedom to take both stances. The doctor has it's fair for you to say, no, I don't want to do it because I don't want to unalive this person. There's a very high chance.
Yeah.
So go find someone else. And then the person still has the freedom to keep trying to find a doctor who's willing to do it.
I don't agree with you.
Really?
That's the crazy part.
Really?
I think if you're a medical professional or a professional in basically almost any field, and
You have to?
a client, I'm not saying you have to, but I'm saying that you have an obligation. You can tell the person, I don't want to do this. I'm not the best person for this job. But if you're telling me this is what you want, I'll do it.
Imagine how many celebrities would still look good looking if all the cosmetic surgeries said, you know what? That seems a bit. You know what?
Good.
That seems a bit too much.
ID? Yeah. I mean,
But because the client wants it so bad, you're saying the doctors, they have to do it.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I don't want to live in that world.
and I also don't know where to draw the line.
What do you mean?
So oh my God, we're going to get into a very bad,
What do you mean?
we're going to get into a very bad territory here.
Let's explore this bad territory.
Such bad. Okay, I'll get into it. Do you know the wedding cake story?
The wedding cake story.
Mhm.
I do not.
Another Supreme Court decision where a gay couple goes to
Uh-oh.
a bakery essentially, and they say they
Oh,
want,
yes.
yeah, they say they want them to make
But they
a wedding
don't. They
cake,
don't want to serve.
but they said no,
Yes.
we don't want to.
Yep.
For some reason in my head, I differentiate between a non-essential service and essential,
Interesting.
and that's bad.
Yeah.
But in that case, I don't remember the outcome. But my personal belief that in non-essential services, wedding cake,
You can say no.
decorations, whatever, just say no. Like, find something else. It's whatever.
You do the same thing with surgery.
Yeah, and that's where I struggle, and I'm inconsistent.
There's
and
so
I
many
recognize
doctors.
I'm trying to grow in that world. All right, I recognize
Interesting.
that I have an inconsistency.
Yeah.
But-
Apologize to the wedding cake couple right now.
For what?
You just said that it was fine that they said no.
I do. I think it is fine.
No, see, here at Idiots to Experts, Justin's a little bit more compassionate. And I think it was wrong for them to say, no, you can't sell the cake to a lovely couple who's just in love, regardless of who they love. Who cares if it's girl, girl, boy, boy, cat, dog, don't matter.
To be honest,
Bake the cake.
I'm glad you did.
Make the cake.
I'm glad you did clean up. I'm so glad you did. You're right. I apologize. But in all seriousness, I think for all non-essential work, I'm like, I don't know, find somebody who wants to do it. But then for essential things that have a much lower threshold of entry. So not everyone can be a doctor. Not everyone can be a lawyer. Not everyone can be a psychiatrist.
True.
For those barriers of entry, I'm like, I think you have an obligation because
That's a hot take,
Right?
my guy.
Right?
That's a hot take.
I struggle so much with that.
So to take it even further in an extreme, it's interesting to me that you think the lawyers who knew that the serial killer unalived people, that they had an obligation to break their contract and tell.
No, I only think they should have broken it if
said
they
you
could
would.
have saved. If they could have saved somebody. If they
It's
could have,
only because you could actually save a life.
Yeah.
What if it's up in the air? I mean, you don't know,
then you can do it.
so you do it.
I would, yeah. If there's a possibility
Okay.
to save a life.
But what
So
happened
basically,
to your
don't hire me. If you,
what happened to your professional obligation?
there's an exception.
You're right. It is a hot take.
No, I mean I think that's a fair exception.
You don't know how to. Your line. It's not that you don't know what to draw the line. Your line's just squiggly. It's just
Nothing's ever a straight line.
oh, nothing's ever straight.
We love everyone.
That's interesting. Oh, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was my rabbit hole of ethical dilemmas
Research?
that I was going.
Well, I have also some ethical stuff for you.
Tell me, what's the name of this book?
Okay, ready? I picked up this self-help book that is 90 pages for anyone who wants to read. But if you don't want to read, just pay attention. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened in the story. It's called Who Moved My Cheese? I'm being serious.
I know, that's why.
Being serious.
It sounds so stupid.
You're laughing way too hard.
I just imagine myself like ripping a fart so bad.
Why does cheese equal fart?
Huh? Lactose creates gases in your stomach. That
What do you think Who Moved My Cheese is about?
a book about someone's own control of life, like being able to address control issues.
Being able to, you know what? It's a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. It's a bit there. You're a smart guy, dude.
It's all in the title.
You're a
It's
smart
honestly
guy.
it's all in the title.
Who Moved My Cheese is a book about how people can deal with change in their life, and people who are afraid of change. And I thought this was an interesting book because I think we're gonna be. We've been talking about changing our lives, and there's certain things I think we are afraid of. And I wanted to bring this to you.
Who's afraid?
Oh, I'm going to tell you. I got an example.
No.
So the book starts off, it's a parable. The book starts like this. There's people who are going to a high school reunion in Chicago.
Oof.
And
Hey,
there's
both those things.
high school in Chicago.
And Chicago.
Oh, dang. What's more traumatic?
Oof.
Oh, anyway, let's not get into it. I don't want Doris to cry. They get together, and there's this one guy who led his family business, but his family business was successful back then, isn't successful now.
Okay.
But he said recently he got into this book, and then he told the story to a coworker, and it spread throughout his company, and now his company is on the upwards now.
Okay.
So his friends are like, "Oh, what's the story?"
Let's go.
Here's what the story is called: "Who Moved My Cheese?"
He lied.
It's about 4 people who live in a maze. Okay,
Rats.
2 rats, 2 mice,
Okay.
and 2. They say little people in the book, but people the size of a mice. Let's not get political.
Okay, we're for sure getting canceled this episode.
No, that's what the book says. All right,
Okay.
and little people is the
When
correct
was this
term.
book written?
Oh, a while ago.
What they call them?
Little people, and
Interesting.
they're the size of mice.
Okay.
Okay, so the 2 mice is called Sniff and Scurry. That's the names.
Thing?
You okay?
Were they blind? Were they 2 blind mice?
No, that's they lost their brother.
They lost their brother. They're blind. They didn't know they
No,
were
Sniff and Scurry is the mice.
Okay.
The people are called Hem and Haw.
Wait. This sounds familiar. Keep going.
Ooh, interesting. So obviously Sniff and Scurry. Oh,
Sorry. I realized what those names remind me of, and it has nothing to do with them.
what do they remind you of?
I thought of the 2 brothers from the Yu-Gi-Oh cartoon that were like 2 duelists. Like one always told the truth, one always told a lie.
Oh, I don't know. I can't remember.
Damn. All right, continue.
We'll put it up on the screen. Don't worry about it.
Wild cartoon.
So what I learned was obviously the name's supposed to be play on words. I didn't know hem and hawing is a phrase. If you ever hear
I know
someone,
he is hawing.
nope,
It's a donkey.
hem and hawing. This person's hemming and hawing.
Hee haw.
What do you think that means?
Wild.
Good guess. Wrong. Hemming and hawing means someone who's indecisive and hesitant. So if someone's hemming and hawing, they're pursuing.
Hesitant.
Yeah, they're pursuing.
That's not what I was thinking. Continue.
Your cousin, okay? So here's how it goes. They live in this maze. And every day they have the same routine. They wake up in the morning. They go into the maze to go find cheese.
Okay.
There's 2 different ways they do it. Sniff and Scurry are animals. They go off instinct. So Sniff smells and points. Scurry ventures off to see if there's cheese there.
Sick.
He goes, oh, no cheese? Rinse and repeat.
Nice.
We're doing it again.
I'm Scurry.
So yeah, you're sniffing, I'm scurrying. Sniffing,
Anecdotally, I'm Scurry. Done.
Got
Keep
it.
moving.
Hem and Haw are a bit different. Hem and Haw have human brains, so they're a little bit complex.
Idiots.
So when they go out to see where cheese is, it's a little bit with more emotion. So they go like, ooh, this valley isn't valleying, you know?
Oh, this.
Yeah.
The wall just gives me bad
Yeah,
juju.
the door is not giving. You know, they say stuff like that.
Yeah. Mars is in retrograde. We can't go down this hallway.
Yeah.
The moons are just not
The moon's not aligned.
Got
That's
it.
what they say. So
Got
they
it.
go, we can't go this way.
Yeah.
That's how they find it. So,
If I roasted you, by the way, because you believe in that stuff, good.
all right. So that's the difference between those 2 groups, right? Eventually, both of them, they find Cheese Station C.
Is there only one station?
Nope, there's multiple. In this
Okay.
whole, it's a big, huge maze.
Got it.
Okay. Cheese Station C is filled to the brim with cheese. More cheese than they ever seen before in their life.
My kind of room.
All right.
So, I like this book.
There's so much cheese, it's insane.
Cheddar?
Yeah, cheddar, brie, Kraft, whatever you think. Has all the cheese in the world.
Crackers on
So, because they found.
What?
Bleep it out.
What?
I will bleep it out.
Cheese and crackers is my favorite.
Anyways, so they changed their routine now. Now we don't have to venture out. I know the path directly to the cheese station. I'm gonna go there every morning, get my cheese, and be fine. But they approach it 2 different ways. Sniff and Scurry go, oh, we're gonna wake up still at 7 in the morning, go to the cheese station, grab the cheese that we need. But I'm gonna keep my running shoes around me. They tie it on their neck, just in case we need to go venture out and find more cheese.
Change book. I'll self-help, man.
Wait for it. It gets better. I love
Yeah.
this book.
Why do these mice have running shoes?
Because that's how they go into the maze. They go run,
The running
bro.
shoes, you're right.
Yeah, they got Asics.
How else are they scurrying?
Yeah, they got.
How else are they
They
scurrying?
got the Nikes, the Asics. They got a whole. You know,
Wow.
they run marathons. But Hemaha a bit different. They don't wake up in the morning anymore. They don't wait. They wake up whenever they want to wake up. They got the Crocs on.
Lazy humans.
It's on econ mode.
Lazy. Econ?
Yeah, the
Not even
Crocs are
sport mode?
Nope, they're on econ mode. They're walking to the station.
I know
They
who I got
where
my
they-
money on. Let me tell you.
They're calling their friends. They're saying, "Oh, we up now." They flew in some baddies in. You know, they go in the crib, the station C, and it was playing that song that goes, "Stay true, that's on me. Stay true, that's on me."
They bump it. Okay,
they
they
bump. They
bump it.
partying, bro.
All right.
Partying so much, they took their home and moved into the cheese station C.
Oh, it's kind of smart.
Why would I go anywhere else?
Yeah.
Right? So they're
It's all fridge. Keep it fresh.
keep it. Oh, yep, exactly.
Keep it fresh.
Why stay in our own house when everything that we need is in this station? Okay, so they keep partying and Sniff and Scurry just keep taking cheese what they want. One day
Do they ever come across each other?
they're all in this cheese station.
Yeah, but like they're living in room C now.
Yeah.
Sniff and Scurry come by every day to
Yeah.
collect the
Yep.
food.
Collect
Do
and
they
go.
see them taking the cheese?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're all cool. They're friends with each
Oh, they're
other.
chilling.
Yeah. One day they wake up.
They got baddies?
Huh?
They got mice baddies?
No, they flew in the mice. They got cheese, bro.
Okay.
They got
Let's go, mice
cheese.
baddies.
They got cheddar to spend.
How long were you waiting to say that? How long were you waiting to say that?
I'm not gonna lie, I waited all day today. Okay, but one day, Sniff and Scurry wake up at 7 in the morning again. They went over to the cheese station C, empty, all gone.
Stupid humans.
But good thing they got the Asics on. They lace up.
They go,
The Usain Bolt out of there. We're gonna go find new cheese. Hem and Haw wake up. Empty beer bottles all over the floor. The baddies are gone. There's throw up. There's
I
everything.
hate people. There's probably
It's
poop.
hungover.
Probably poop.
There's probably
On the
poop.
carpet.
Now. No, now there's probably poop,
Yeah.
right? But the dog's gone.
Yeah, dog.
Dog's gone.
They're just there.
They're just there. And they wake up and furious.
Could be two. There's poop.
They're furious. And Hog goes, "Who moved my cheese?"
What
Yeah.
does that mean?
Who moved my cheese? My cheese is supposed to be here. It's supposed to be filled with cheese. Who moved my
Do
cheese?
they lack common sense? Do they not know that stuff runs out at some point?
Nope.
Partying went too late. And
So Hog goes, "Oh, we don't have no cheese no more. We should probably go get some new cheese then." Hem's not about it.
that sounds like a.
Nope. Hem says, "No, this was our cheese. Someone has to bring back our cheese because this is not right. This is injustice. This is unfair."
Yeah.
Okay.
I can already analyze the hell out of him, and let me tell you something. Psychologically, he's a narcissist. I'm not joking.
No, it's fair. He's a
Continue.
bit of a Karen. Here's where I pause the story. First thought. Obviously, it's a parable, so they're trying to teach you lessons. So this is the first thing that came to my mind. He believes that this injustice probably shouldn't be happening to him because he's entitled
Yes.
to the cheese. It's his.
Yeah.
Now, I looked inwards at myself. Do you think you've ever felt entitled to cheese? Now, I'm going to explain what cheese is. Cheese is something that you strive for, that's something that gives you fulfillment or purpose. It can be tangible or intangible. Now, have you ever felt entitled to a cheese?
I'm the opposite.
What do you mean?
I feel like I am undeserving of everything.
I'm going to prove you wrong in a bit, but go ahead.
Oh, interesting.
Mhm.
For the most part, I feel like I lack a lot of, what's it called? Confidence. That's what.
What's that one thing?
Yeah, confidence.
Uh-huh.
There are certain times, I would say growing up, I was for sure the type of person who felt like I deserved a certain level of, this is supposed to be mine.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't behave a certain way, it's on you.
Okay.
Like, it's not my fault. So yeah, I don't know where it was, but at some point, I would say grew up and realized you're not entitled to anything.
I agree with that. I think for the most part. But do you think you're 100%? You feel that way in everything?
No one's ever 100%.
Sure. 90%.
Have you ever gotten into an argument with someone?
Sure. 80%. That's just high numbers.
I would say high numbers, yeah.
Okay. Let me explain, because I'm going to tell you something that happens to me why I feel entitled. And I wanted to point it out last week on our podcast. You were saying, and this is why I'm going to give you a different perspective. You were talking about how you ran slow and your girlfriend beat you because she's just better.
Not last
She's better. She's better than you in every way.
I mean, that I don't argue with, yes.
And you said that you should be at this mile pace,
Based
and
on
you
my
should be not walking, not you should be at this other level because you obviously you've been putting time in. Don't you think there's a little bit of entitlement that you should be at a different place, a better place than you are right now?
No, because I can 100% analyze that based on the training. There's inputs and there's outputs.
Yeah.
If I've input a certain thing, I should be at a certain level. If I put $1 in the vending machine, I should get
Exactly.
That's
But don't you see the entitlement in it?
no. That's
If I do this, this should happen.
yes.
That's entitled.
No, that's expectation. I go through about life. Otherwise,
No.
it would be chaos. I have
Being-
confidence that's going to come out.
Here's where entitlement comes for me. Being upset or frustrated that the outcome that you expected didn't happen.
Sure, but okay, I apologize if I'm being like a jerk about this and making
No,
it
it's
like go
fine.
longer than it needs to.
It's 100% fine.
But I generally having expectations is different from having a ability to say that I am entitled to this. I have expectations. I don't think I'm entitled to it.
Here's the key word of you can have expectations. It's when you're frustrated or upset when those expectations aren't met. That's where I feel entitlement is.
Sure, and I don't think I was frustrated or upset. I was saying I should be at this. I want to be better. Like I'm going to work towards it. I'm not saying that. Oh.
Okay. I don't know. I'm not translating
God
that,
had
bro.
cursed me with slow legs.
I don't know what that was.
That was my Nixon impression. I am not a crook, but continue.
Anyways, here I'm gonna explain to you where reflective where I feel entitled. And let me know if you relate. When I sacrifice for my relationship, there's times where I felt frustrated because I feel as if my partner should sacrifice as much as I do.
I literally had the exact same thought yesterday, but I checked myself, so that's why I don't feel like I.
And I definitely, and it's something I have to work through. But I was like, ooh, I definitely feel entitled to that cheese.
Yeah. I don't want to know about your cheese.
There's multiple cheese, but okay. Anyway, back to the story. So yeah, he's complaining, but Ha's like, I think we should leave, dude.
Well, you probably should get some food.
There's no cheese. Yeah, dude, we gonna starve. But nope. He goes, no, we're gonna stay here. The day after day, they stay and wait for cheese to come. And at some point, I was over it. I was like, you know what, Hem? I gotta go. You can starve all you want.
Deuces, bro.
Deuces. But Hem's like, it's dangerous out there in that maze. There's Dementors out in there.
Actual Dementors? Like these?
Yeah, he said Dementors.
That's wild.
And he was like, you don't know magic.
Oh, they're in Harry Potter
gonna-
world. That's why they're the size of mice. Got it. This is the Harry Potter analogy.
Yeah, this is a Harry Potter.
Did one of them have a scar on their forehead?
Oh, I think so, dude. I didn't lift up the hair. I didn't know.
Was the book written by J.K. Rowling, bro?
Wait,
I think you might have read the wrong book.
double check.
I just got a message out of it.
No. I just throw in a little bit more fun imagination. But anyways, so Ha leaves. He's like, I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
Now, Ha goes through a couple things on this journey. He goes through he comes to 4 different realizations. And I want you to tell me if you resonate with any of these.
Okay.
So he leaves. He starts looking for cheese. Immediately, L after L. Don't find no cheese. Steps in poop. Steps in mud. You know about that.
Finds pee this morning.
Trick doors. It's raining. It's cold. Nothing's happening for this guy.
He's a
He's down bad.
downward trajectory.
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
And so now he's cooped up somewhere. It's cold. He has nothing to eat. And he decides, I'm going to reflect. And he says, you know what I'm going to start doing? I'm going to start writing my lessons I'm learning on these maze walls. So this is the first one he writes. He says, I'm in a vastly better situation than I was before because I'm in control. And he says, back then we're waiting for people to replace the cheese. I'm not finding anything. The result is kind of the same. However, the difference is I'm in control of me finding cheese.
So in line with my year of positivity, but
So I got to ask you, do you think you're more active or passive finding your cheese?
I think I took it to a whole nother extreme where I actually push people away because I say I do this on my own. I don't need anyone else.
Ah,
So I took it to a different extreme.
okay.
And I also reeled it back a little bit. And it's trying to find that wisdom to know when is right.
Hmm.
But yes, I definitely relate to the idea of I have to go out. I have to put in the work. I'm not entitled to.
But I think the more important thing he was trying to say is not so much that obviously you need to do the work, but even if I yield no results, I am happy in the fact that I'm in control of finding my cheese.
That's a perspective thing, and that's what you have to first. That's what I had to fix in order
Yes.
to.
Because I wonder when I go towards something and I'm not finding any positivity, am I happy that at least I'm on the journey? Or am I feeling discouraged because I'm not at the finish line?
I mean, that's such a natural thing.
More often than not, I think I'm trying to change towards me just enjoying me in
journey.
this maze.
Yeah.
That's this whole this analogy is. Even though I find no success.
I agree with you. That's so much easier said than done.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, that's the first thing he writes on the wall.
Cool.
Right? Then more days pass by. He's still not finding any cheese.
How's he eating? There's a couple days.
Yeah.
I just want to
Honestly, when they read in this book, they say they haven't eaten in weeks. And I'm like, I don't know how your human body works.
Did they use like water seeding to get rain to like, drink water? What's
I don't
happening?
know.
Okay, what-
They Hunger Games. I don't know if they drop stuff
got it.
in. Yeah, I don't know. But so he lays down, right? And he goes, you know what? Back at Station C, Someone probably didn't move the cheese. He said, we probably ate too much cheese, and there's probably times where cheese was moldy and we threw it away. And I don't think it was someone else.
I feel like the constipation alone should have given him a hint. We eat that much cheese, like it's bound to happen.
Just cheese,
That's
right?
what I'm saying.
So he writes on the wall and he says, remember to smell your cheese. See if it's moldy.
I don't know that one.
You don't know that
I'm not
one?
going to try to pretend like I know that one.
Okay, so cheese, again, remember, is something that gives you purpose. Now, to understand that you have to smell your cheese to see if it's moldy, does your cheese still serve you? Is it still good for you? And often, do you ever check into yourself and say, hey, man, the things that I'm putting my energy towards, is it still good for me?
I'm going to give you an example.
Okay.
First, I'm Egyptian. Being Egyptian, we eat moldy cheese.
Okay.
That's actually a thing that we eat.
I didn't say this mean literally. You know what he means.
No, but what I'm saying is, as an Egyptian person, the thing that's edifying with a purpose sometimes isn't good for us, and we eat it anyway. We still keep going towards it anyway.
Yeah. But I would more so think for me personally, I don't ever check in to see if this serves me still. I'm still kind of caught up in actually doing the thing. To say video games is my cheese. I constantly play video games and not ever check in and say to myself, this is good for me?
So, and again, here's
A
literally
9 to 5.
my literal example, right? Is video games
Yeah.
where I don't care if it's edifying me or not. I have caught myself where there are days where I'm not even enjoying playing the video game. I know it's moldy. I know I'm
Oh, that's
being
an
more
Egyptian
toxic.
thing.
And
That's the Egyptian thing. But I guess more so for the public, a 9 to 5.
That's-
Your job, where you just kind of get stuck into it. And do you ever check in and say, this is probably not good for me? I feel like people don't do that. That's number 2, right? And then number 3, he actually finds some crumbles of new cheese, right? You know what he does
Parmesan.
in his kind-hearted soul? He grabs
goes
the
back to
crumbs
see.
and he goes back to see him with his crumbles. And he goes, bro, I got new cheese.
That's good heart.
I got crumbles. Let's go. We eat together. We both brothers. You eat, I eat.
Was it actually brothers?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
What does Hem say? Everybody want that new cheese, bro. That looks disgusting. It's probably blue cheese. I don't want blue cheese. I got old cheese coming. I don't want to eat any of that. I'm going to wait for the old cheese to come back.
I just don't know how they have it. That's
And so I was like, all right, I guess you don't want to eat this new cheese. I'll eat it. I'm on my way. Then he comes up and he goes, oh, I understand that some people get stuck in their old ways. However, he writes on the wall and he says, moving in a new direction is the only way to find new cheese. Well, what do you think that means to you?
I mean, the definition of insanity. You try the same thing over and over and expect a different.
100%.
Instead of, if I want a different result,
You gotta try something new.
you gotta try something new. But also goes back to the
Perfect.
first lesson, where your perspective also matters. You can't just
Yeah, that's what perspective could be the new movement.
right.
So my question to you is, George, and I'm gonna tell you what mine is. What's the last thing that you tried for new movement? What's your new movement that led you to new cheese?
New cheese usually comes from very downward.
Dark place?
Yeah, I'm not.
So a dark
for me,
place is the only time it causes you to try something new?
I'm not gonna say that's the only time, but it's definitely a huge motivator.
Okay.
When you're content, when you're happy, when you have cheese.
Bro,
You're not motivated to go
bring the
find out new
baddies
cheese.
in,
Why?
bro.
Yeah, bring the baddies. Only one baddie for me. It's the only baddie I want. You know what I'm saying? But like everyone can like partake in the cheese.
Yeah.
But when you aren't in a downward slope,
Mhm.
it's not until you change the perspective that good or bad, I want to improve. Good or bad, I want to find cheese. It's usually those downward trends
That cause
that
I would
cause it.
agree. I would agree, but I guess you don't have to get into the dark, detail in the dark moments in your life.
Great, because I know it wasn't
You don't have to, but what was the last new thing that caused you to have a new fulfillment, purpose, or whatever?
This is gonna sound really weird, and
Powering?
no, I'm not doing that forever. This tells the world There's a reason why I got mushrooms. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
From now on, I'm just gonna like go into your business. Instead of fighting against it, instead of being like, no, I'm gonna be like, yeah.
That's what comedy
I'm
is, George. I've been trying to get you to do that.
Forget comedy, bro.
Kobe Covington, you're a
defeated.
hero.
My new outlook is being destroyed on this podcast.
Okay, sorry. What was weird?
No, a new perspective that I'm trying to work through currently is I'm really happy in my perspectives on life, and having partners that having a partner that I love so much that like makes my life better. I find myself being very lazy. I find myself in the room of cheat. And I'm trying to be better than that. I'm trying to work out of that comfort. So why I think it's part of the reason why I got into the whole triathlon thing. Is why I'm trying to challenge.
So is
Podcast.
triathlon the last new movement?
I think so.
Was it?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. And your purpose or your new cheese is the, I guess, athletic parts of your life.
Yeah, because I want to challenge. I want to challenge in my life.
I like it. So the third thing, and then the fourth thing, after he's still not finding that much cheese, you know what he starts doing? He starts imagining cheese in his hands. He's like mozzarella sticks, mac and cheese, a cheese fondue. He's like, he has a spoon, empty spoon, and he just puts it in his mouth thinking that he's eating cheese.
Delusional. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So
He's
the
like-
fourth lesson is to be crazy. Understood. What is this book?
Yeah. So he's thinking that he's eating cheese, and it's motivating him to run faster and run longer so he can get to that place. Because you know how great it is to have that cheese.
I was so with you up until that last one.
You don't like that one?
I don't like that one.
Here, I'm going to revamp it because obviously I made it funny. He was manifesting that how would I feel if I had the cheese? Now that's giving me motivation to go run faster, run longer, go to different areas, and to venture out even when I don't feel like running.
So, not an idiot. I understood.
That's okay. You just on it and as if that wasn't the
Here's why I don't-
important thing, but that's cool.
I heard you.
It's all right.
I listened to you.
Manifesting is pretty important.
I think you're wrong.
That's
Can I tell you why I think it's wrong?
oh, I know. I remember back episodes ago, you on people who try to do positive affirmations.
No.
And this aligns with you trying to have people think positive because why would you want people to believe in themselves?
First of all,
That makes sense. Why would George want people to love themselves?
don't dox me and say my name. But second of all, I would never on anyone because I know what it feels like to be on a dog. Sorry.
I thought you were going to say it on the podcast.
I mean, that too.
It works.
That too.
It works as well.
No, but okay. I don't necessarily dislike the idea of manifesting your desires, manifesting your,
Yeah.
but I also think going to the first point of changing your perspective, regardless of whether or not the cheese is attainable, I don't think that should take away from your journey to get the cheese. So,
Well, yeah, he doesn't know if it's attainable or not.
right. And like,
He just believes that he's just imagining that he has the cheese.
for me, I'm just like, just go find the cheese.
Yeah,
Why?
you hate
Motivation?
people with positive affirmations.
It's like the one thing I disagree
That's
with Goggins on,
horrible.
because Goggins said the same stuff. And I was just like, nah, bro,
Okay, well,
do it.
here's the statement that he writes on the wall. He says, a change of beliefs will result in a change in behavior.
I agree with that statement.
So if you believe that you can have this cheese, positive affirmations, the behaviors will follow in terms of running faster, doing things that you don't want to do because you believe that it's going to happen.
Right.
Same thing with manifesting.
I believe
And
it'll
positive
happen.
affirmations.
No. I believe it'll happen. Might happen when I'm 60. Might happen when I'm 80. Right? I'm not going to go and be like, the cheese is coming. Like,
Yeah, you're horrible. You're a horrible person. Not wanting people. When people look in the mirror and they go, I am beautiful, you laugh at them.
yes. Especially if they're not.
Hey, get 4 eyes. Get 4 eyes out of here. Anyways, I guess when I looked back on this, I liked that statement of a change of beliefs results in a change of behavior. And I looked back at my life and I wondered, what was the change of beliefs that I had that changed my behavior drastically? And I came to the conclusion that entrepreneurship is possible for me.
You think it was before?
I didn't. From an immigrant standpoint and growing up, you get a stable job and that's just my life for the rest of my life. Now that I guess I have free time and I want to dive into a couple other things, I want to have businesses aside from my 9 to 5. And I want to dive into entrepreneurship and find success in it. And I think personally, I will find success in it. And that has changed in how much energy I put into my hobbies and into other things.
So here's where I'm going to prove my point. Okay. When
You still on the positive
Hear me out.
affirmations is bull.
hear me out.
Damn, dude.
Let me prove you. I love making you wrong.
Okay,
That's
go
my-
ahead.
Ooh, you know what I'm saying? That's my
Oh, you sound
Bronchosaurus. Like who?
you. It gets
Hey.
edited, George.
Check your pocket. Are you going to text? You getting a text?
Go ahead. How you gonna prove me wrong?
When you imagine entrepreneurship,
Yeah.
do you imagine the business? Do you imagine
Yeah.
success? Do you
Yes.
imagine what is it that you imagine of yourself succeeding?
I imagine that the ideas I write down on paper that I think are good, I bring it to life.
Okay. But what is that?
What do you mean?
Like, what are those ideas?
Specifically in detail?
Yeah.
Podcast. There's websites I want to create. I don't want to put it out there. 'Cause my
Yeah.
ideas.
Not like a specific idea.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take an example of the podcast, right?
Okay.
You said it yourself. You don't believe, or you don't envision, or you don't care if this blows up or not. Regardless, we want to build a podcast. We want to create something. We want to.
It's not that I don't care. I don't put weight on it needing to blow up. I mean, as I care, I'm putting work into it to make it seem
Successful.
entertaining
Yeah.
and successful. But I don't put weight on it being famous, if that's what you're saying.
Not necessarily famous, but that to me, a measure of success of a podcast is how many listeners.
Nah, see, not me.
How do you measure the success of a podcast?
I measure the content of the podcast because there's a lot of podcasts out there and a lot of famous ones just because there's popping famous people. But I hate listening to their conversation. It's just boring. It's the same old revolving. What did you get into comedy for? Where did you start how'd you know you were good looking? Oh, okay, cool. Nice. Rinse and repeat.
I'm not gonna lie. I genuinely want to post, but that kind of hit me different because the idea of what makes the podcast successful is not how many subscribers it has, but the quality of
Yeah.
work. Like that's such a great way to think about it. We have a lot of work to do.
Well, it's
I
very
genuinely, I think that's such a better way to picture or what's like
express.
not express, but envisioning success
Okay.
as an awesome podcast with a cool table with no poop on the ground. Like
Yeah.
I like that idea.
So then how are you proving me wrong?
I didn't. I'm actually you changed my mind.
Okay, cool. Exactly. That makes sense. But anyways,
You're so shocked.
I was like, okay.
No, you changed my mind.
Okay, cool. Well, that's the things that he wrote on the wall. I guess that in that bit. And so now he goes through that journey of being in the maze. He finds Cheese Station N. Marked. Whoa! Why'd you put your eyebrows up like that? New cheese station. And he goes into the cheese station. Phil, why are you smirking?
Because you're smirking.
No, because you're looking weird. Oh man, you're gonna make this whole freaking segment weird, dude.
The new station.
The new cheese station. You go in. It had more cheese than Cheese Station C.
Okay.
It has different, even more cheeses. Parmesan, Gouda, right there, right
Yo,
there.
so-
And when he goes in, he sees Sniff and Scurry just chilling, laid back, hands up like this.
Those lazy.
Lazy?
Where are their running shoes?
What do you mean? They found it first. They've been out there.
But it sounds like they're living in there. If they just like kicking back.
Yeah,
and
they've
chilling.
been there for weeks.
And
They left earlier. They weren't complaining.
It sounds like a cycle.
They found the cheese. They're there.
They're becoming hemp.
No, they're not. Here. Anyways.
Okay.
Hem and Haw, or not, sorry. Sniff and Scurry They like give him a nod, like finally you made it. He's like, we've been here. So then he has a feast. Hog goes crazy, has a food coma. Then he lays back, and then he goes, "Can I go back for him?" What do you do in that situation?
Oof. Already gone back once,
Oh, personal.
right? No, in the book.
Oh, yes.
He's already gone back once.
Yeah, he did.
With a little bit of cheese, and the guy was like,
Mhm.
"Nah, I'm getting more."
Exactly. So what do you do?
I don't know.
Oh, you're torn.
It depends on who Hem is.
What do you mean?
If Hem is my partner, if Hem is
What's the answer versus your significant other versus a friend?
I'm on the friend,
One of the cousins.
I'm coming back.
Okay.
I'm coming back.
Okay, so only if it's about how close you are with the person if you come back. So I guess Hall looks at it and he goes, nah,
Fair.
I tried. He goes, I tried to change him. And I came back, didn't want to listen to me. I gave him all the warnings. We should go find new cheese. And he goes, he needs to go on this maze himself.
You know what I would do?
What?
I would trace my steps
Okay.
and leave crumbs of cheese back to the room.
Yeah, Hansel and Gretel type of situation.
Type of stuff. Yeah, actually.
Okay.
Because in order for him to find the room of cheese,
Yeah.
he's gonna have to follow the crumbs. The crumbs that he thinks that he's to.
Oh, you're there, George. Give me a second. So what Hall believes, he realizes that I wrote lessons on the wall. So he needs to read the writings on the walls. And he needs to go through the same journey when he goes in the maze to realize he needs to change.
There's just
Wait, no janitor in the maze?
is it a permanent marker? Like, is it engraved? Like, what if someone
I don't
wiped it
know.
off?
I don't know how he wrote it, but
Bad
he
friend.
wrote it.
All I'm saying, bad
Yeah,
friend.
But he was like, nah,
Seems
I'm
like
not going to
Justin.
go back. And so he reflects. He reflects on this journey to the maze after he decides, nah, I'm not going to go back for him. And he goes, there's 6 things about change people need to really understand. And tell me which one you have the most struggle with.
Okay.
First one, understand and accept that change needs to happen. Yeah?
Yeah, I'm
You
with
agree?
Yep.
Okay. After that, you need to anticipate the change. So be prepared to change
Okay.
after you accept it. Monitor the change, sell it, make sure it's not moldy. I know you have a problem with that.
moldy cheese, but I understand.
Adapt quickly. And then he dropped a bar in here that I really liked. He said, in order for you to adapt to change quickly, you need to laugh at your folly. He said folly. I Googled it. Your
I was
fault.
saying I need you to define.
I got you. No, I got you. Laugh at your faults and your mistakes. That allows you to move quickly because if you use sadness, frustration, or like a negative thing to motivate you to get over something, you're still going to be attached to that old former
that's the
self
hard
of yours. So if you choose to laugh at it, that either recognizes that it's a fault, but doesn't have you still attached and linger on the old former self. So use humor, laugh at it.
Here's why I think that's the hardest one.
Why?
Most people aren't funny.
I was going to make a joke, but I'm not going there.
It's why I have a hard time with it.
Do you think what's the emotion you use when you look at your mistakes?
Usually I'm tough on myself.
Disappointment?
Discipline.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. Most people aren't funny. Like,
But okay, so adapt quickly. Then he says change, actually take the action, and then enjoy the change. Enjoy the process. Those 6 things is important for someone to find new cheese.
I feel like I'm also part of me is in that six category.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, because I was in a very dark, different place,
Hmm.
and I don't think I'm definitely not the same person that I was a few years ago. I think you can attest to that. I'm in the point of enjoying the fruits of my labor,
Oh, okay.
but I also don't want to stop. So more cheese, more cheese,
More cheese. Yeah, honestly, get more cheese.
Honestly, well, let me know when. Keep going.
No, I looked it back to 6 and I said monitoring the cheese is kind of hard for me. Understanding when it's, it doesn't serve me.
Assessing is also.
Huh?
Assessing,
Yeah.
like,
I kind of just get stuck in the middle of the process.
and when you're in it, you don't know it needs to be.
Exactly. And sometimes I have a problem with committing. When I think this is my cheese.
You're about to get married, dog. Don't tell me
No,
you
that's
haven't-
different. 100. I'm committed to that cheese. That cheese is going to be for life. But no, when I commit something to my head and I think this is true, it's hard for me to think, oh, this is not true anymore. So, what were you gonna say?
I was just, as much as I was roasting the book early on, the book's really good at.
I don't want to talk about this book.
That's why I wanted to wait till the end because I knew it would
It's not
destroy
the
you.
end.
Oh, that's awkward.
That's the worst part.
That's awkward.
Well, anyways, towards the end.
Cheddar, change it up. Cheddar it up.
No. So Hall actually adapts and he goes, I know this is whole cheese stations filled with cheese, but I'm gonna continue moving out and seeing if there's other places, even though I have a station filled with cheese. And they did like a little movie scene at the end where he goes, as he was going through the maze, he heard a little noise. And he goes, question mark. And then it ends the book. Like,
Oh,
ooh, snap.
sequel.
I just
Sequel.
But I thought that, and then towards the end
That's
of
the
the
second
book,
Harry Potter book.
oh yeah, The Prisoner of Azkaban.
That's the third. Bro, no Harry Potter fact. Come on.
Whatever. But yeah, he at the end of the book, he tells that story to all his friends at the reunion, and they did discuss what changes happened in their life.
I like it. No, that's what's I would say. What is your biggest takeaway from the book?
So here, I have 3 questions I would like to ask you.
I hate questions.
If they had a discussion, I would like us to have a discussion. So my first question is, what is your cheese right now?
My real cheese is financial. I'm good financially in terms of being able to take care of immediate needs. But there are big things that I want. Just getting married, such as having a house, such as having kids.
Every subscriber is invited to that
To the
man's wedding right there.
Absolutely. You're all invited to the wedding and not the reception,
In the reception.
where you can pay for I'll get a food truck and all y'all can pay for your own.
Oh, okay. It's not even free. Okay, so financial literacy is your cheese right now.
Right now, that and physical activity. Those are 2 giant pieces of cheese that I'm
That drives you?
Yeah.
Okay. I would answer that and say my cheese right now, main one, is expressing myself.
You have to go with the meaningful, heartfelt answer.
What do you mean? Well, yours is not meaningful? Ooh, we need to talk about
Great.
we need to talk about you.
Another text just came through.
We need to talk
Another
about
text
you.
just came through.
Huh? None of the things you said were meaningful? Got it.
You got sad, but you know what I mean. Like you're about to cry.
I'm chilling. No, I think the things that I spend a lot of my energy towards are different avenues of me expressing myself, whether it be podcast, music, or business ideas. It's ways of, I think, a part of me I want to express in a way. So that's what drives me.
I like that.
All right. Second question. It asks, if you weren't afraid of the maze, what would you go for? What cheese would you go for? I'm gonna give you mine just so you kind of understand a little bit more. Because I think the maze obviously is life,
Yeah.
right? And so when it comes with entrepreneurship, a little bit of my fear is pouring all my eggs. Say this starts taking off, this becomes our career, and I start pouring all my emotions into it. I fear that I will be vulnerable to heartbreak and what comes with running a business, because it's going to take a lot of energy out of you. And I fear that maybe it might ruin relationships and might come with just a lot of bumps in the road. And if I weren't afraid of any of that, I'd be going so hard, I think.
But I don't know, that sounds like such a. I'll be serious. The
Okay.
fear that you've expressed sounds like you're scared of success.
I'm afraid what comes with success. Yeah.
Okay. You once roasted the hell out of me for a quote that I said it was in a basketball movie.
Like Mike.
Bow Wow. Like
Bow Wow. A basketball movie. Coach
Coach
Carter. Okay.
And the quote
The
was,
light?
huh?
The
Yeah,
light
the light
quote?
thing, where
Okay.
our greatest fear is not that we
Are
are
inadequate.
inadequate. Our greatest fear is that we are powerful.
Yeah. Why did I roast you?
I don't know.
What did I
You
say?
You said that was stupid.
No, you're putting words in my mouth. I
No,
agree with
literally,
that.
you roasted me for a good 15
No, don't do
minutes.
that. Don't do that.
I know you did.
Don't do
because I'm
that.
still traumatized by
Don't
it.
do that. No, you're mixing trauma. You're taking other conversations of where I on you and you're applying it to different conversations.
That's wild. That's
do it so much.
You're literally gaslighting me. You are literally gaslighting.
No, don't do that. Don't do that right now. I love Coach Carter and I agree with that quote.
I literally read the entire quote, and you were like,
I might have
"That's stupid."
I might have-
No one's afraid of that.
Nope, I might have roasted you because of how you said it.
See, now you're defending yourself. You know you're wrong. As long as we agree.
Okay, just so you know, you're trying to gaslight me, dog.
Nah.
No, reverse gaslight, bro.
Hold on. Let's not fight in front of the audience.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Let's.
I'm sorry.
We like each
Not in
other.
front of the kids.
somehow.
Not in front of the
kids. They see us resolving our problems. That's the important
We're
part.
good. We are a healthy conversation. Go.
Yes. Okay. So we agree that there's some level of success that, as a human being, just the achievement of it.
Yeah.
Cool. Now we're on that page. You can't roast me for it anymore. Now.
I didn't roast you at all.
Huh?
I didn't roast you at all.
Yeah,
Stop putting.
You're right. I imagined it.
Yeah,
Silly
yes.
me.
Exactly. Silly you.
Silly me. Why, if after going through the whole maze of life, seeing the journey, enjoying the journey,
Yeah.
why not recognize that even through the success, if relationships are ruined, success doesn't go the way that it does, that you envisioned,
Yeah.
that is part of the journey, and that you will learn lessons, part of the next journey, part of the
I mean, it's not that I'm shying away from going into the maze. I think I'm saying I'm afraid of running into the maze rather than what I'm doing is cautiously walking.
walking it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you why I don't like the when people if
You weren't afraid?
Yeah, if you weren't afraid,
Why?
what would you? Because when I feel like when people take that question and say, if you weren't afraid, it also takes away all the other responsibilities, their elements of life that are just
No.
like
I'm going to disagree with you already.
really.
Yeah.
Because when I hear if you weren't afraid, I hear my biggest fear is not being able to support my family.
Okay.
My biggest fear is if I go all in on this thing and it doesn't pan out,
Yeah.
my family suffers.
Yeah.
That is if I wasn't afraid, but that is a thing that I just don't get to put off to the side. I have to.
Why not? It's a hypothetical situation.
Because hypothetically speaking, it's stupid.
No, you're stupid for not understanding what a hypothetical situation is.
Hypotheticals should be realistic.
No.
Yes.
No. No. Hypothetical doesn't mean realistic.
No, it doesn't mean real. They should be realistic.
No.
If you're gonna offer me, it's like
No.
I'm not gonna name names. Okay, it's like when someone says, or like imagine in your relationship.
Okay.
What if, you
I
don't
was a
love me
bug. Would
anymore?
you still love me?
Those questions.
Hypothetical.
What?
It's not realistic, but it's hypothetical.
Oh, if I was
A bug. Would you still love me?
yeah. It's a stupid question. No. No, I wouldn't, because you're a bug and you have a lifespan of like 3 seconds. No. Wait, there goes another text.
But
Thanks, Justin.
yeah, the fact that you said no is crazy. I would still love you if you were a bug, if you were anything. I still love you. That's how strong my love is for my fiance.
You're the worst. You're the worst.
No, okay, but hold on.
This is why this podcast is not going to be successful.
Hold on.
Because your co-host hates you.
Okay, hypothetically doesn't have to be a realistic situation. It's about just putting yourself in a situation and let's think about it. How would you feel? Now, when you say if you didn't have any fear, what would you do? You can put yourself in the situation. It's like the same way of saying if there wasn't any ramifications, what would you go for? You saying you can't answer it because it's not realistic?
There's an answer.
Okay, what's the answer?
It's just-
That's what I'm curious about.
I would shoot to pro triathlete or some kind of content creation.
Okay, so content creation or triathlete.
Yeah.
What's the fear, the exact fear? Is it you not being able to support your family doing that, or the fear of you failing trying to become that?
Fear of failing, trying to become that, but also the process, knowing the process to do it takes time, and the suffering that I endure while trying to.
Okay. I'm just curious to what that was. That's a very good answer.
Yeah.
Just don't be a hem and stay in Cheese Station C.
Right. I'm scurrying a little bit out.
Go with
I'm going back. I'm like, coming back.
you sniff.
Let me get some more.
Oh, you're like sniff.
I'm sniff.
More, yeah, you're sniff.
At first, I thought I was scurry. Turns out I'm sniff. The big nose makes sense now.
Okay, last question to wrap it up.
Okay.
They ask, if you ever look back and reflect, what is the old cheese that you should let go of? And what is the new cheese you should move on towards and put more effort in?
I'm going to ask you to go first on this one. I don't know on my own.
Here it is. I think there's certain, if not most or all, video games aren't serving me anymore, and it's something that I should be letting go of. And not so much that I stop playing video games altogether. I should only play video games to connect with Pashoy or you guys when we want a free weekend. Or we get together in a room, playing video games is fine. I tend to play video games by myself a lot of times, and I don't think that old cheese of trying to become really good at having high ranks in Valorant or TFT serves me anymore, because I could find a new cheese that serves me better.
I'm not going to get that specific. I actually will do this because I think it's different.
Yeah.
When you are playing video games,
Yeah.
are you playing to be the best can be? Or are you playing because you enjoy it? Something that provides you some just time to turn off your brain.
No, I enjoy winning.
Okay.
I only have enjoyment when I'm rising in rank or I'm
Okay.
winning. Not so much that I play casually.
I mean, that's not a bad thing. Everyone wants to rank up in sports, whether it's
Okay.
you want to win.
Yeah.
I don't see an issue and get better at it. May not be the most useful thing given all your goals,
Yeah.
but I think in terms of mental health, it does help. Grant, I think what you're
I'm
saying
not
is that you're
saying
doing it
to-
more than you want to.
I'm not saying remove video games altogether.
Right.
I'm just saying what I think video games used to be. Video games used to be the beginning of Cheese Station C for
Okay.
me. The fulfillment I got with playing with my friends used to be Cheese Station C. Okay. Now it's a bit not fully empty. Not as much cheese as there. I need to find a Cheese Station N because there's more fulfillment there than there is now that everyone's kind of getting older. We're not playing video games so much.
Ozempic.
Ozempic is happening.
Yeah.
There's more things in life. There's business ideas. There's other cheeses I can put my energy towards trying to find instead of holding on to. I remember video games as a kid used to be so much fun.
I like it.
Okay.
I don't hate the idea of you or anyone cutting down.
Yeah.
I don't cutting it out completely. If that wasn't ever,
I didn't say cut out completely, but I said not all video games, but cutting back most, probably.
I think what I need to let go of.
TikTok.
That's 100%.
That's a cheese that you
That's
should probably let go of.
Mine's a little bit deeper than TikTok,
Oh,
which
okay.
is still see myself as the kid, meaning that as a kid I was told to parents, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
There was always a sense of that whether it's teachers, whether it's some form of authority, I always imagine myself as the person who needs to listen. I need to let go of that, George.
Am I your authority now?
In a way,
I think that's a great statement, and for you to be aware of that first and foremost. But I guess cheese, when I define it, it's
Feeling of
something
action.
that served you, and actually no, never mind. I take it back. If you thought before listening to authority served you well, that could have been your old cheese?
That was what, not necessarily that served me well, but that was where I got the least amount of issues. I should love experience when people weren't.
Okay, never mind. That could be your old cheese.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I think I've done a pretty good job of letting go of most of that, but there's still that inner person.
That's so interesting that
Yeah.
you. That is actually so interesting, George. Trolling aside,
Yeah.
the fact that you could say listening to authority or listening to an external voice
Yeah.
because you're so prideful. You're along the lines like Pashoy, like that prideful, like up there, like lion pride, that prideful, I like big letters, like font 75, maybe 100, prideful,
I hope everyone
prideful.
that
That it was crazy to you to think that you would actually listen to someone else.
I need to be the good guy. I'm the good guy in the podcast. George, don't retaliate. Don't go in on his life.
Well, okay. Well, that was a fun conversation.
Hey, that was great. You know
Great,
what? I'll lift my spirits. I feel like there's no more poop in the office.
Hey, let's go.
Genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, and honestly, Justin as well. To all the people that subscribe for some reason. So everybody who leaves the comment, good or bad. No, but seriously, watching the channel grow is kind of. Thank you to everybody for listening. Like the podcast, please like, comment, or subscribe. Hope you learned something today.